When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. It's Wednesday. We're going to talk a little bit about sports here on this day for the first half hour. In the second half hour, the fire chief will be here. You're welcome to call in at 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in just a moment. Welcome back to the program here on Connect with Me on this Wednesday morning. We're talking sports for the first half hour of the program. In the second half hour, as I said, Kerri Donis is going to be here to talk about all sorts of things involving the Fresno Fire Department, including that big explosion out there near Herndon in 99. Let's see, I guess that was this month. It was earlier this month. I'm thinking this is May already. It's not. Hey, a reminder that this coming Friday, we are going to have the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce here in the city of Fresno coming on this program on Friday to talk about the events that took place the last couple of days in the city of Baltimore with the riots and the burning and obviously the chaos there and the confusion and the battle between African Americans and how they're treated by the police department, not only there but in cities around the country. We'll talk about that. In the meantime, you are watching us live on Comcast channel 187 and 43.6 and 13.1. And you can catch the replay later in the day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on 13.6, 8 o'clock at night on 4.6 Biz TV. And of course, the Twitter account is at John Malos, me. TV. Well, today's guest, he's been a guest here on this program on Connect with Me before, so today it's his return, it's his second appearance, and I'll give you a hint. No one had a better pull-up jumper than my guest today in college basketball, and I mean no one had a better pull-up than this man right here. Let's take to the photos and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. His name is Blanton Simmons, first player to be recruited by Al McGuire in 1964 as a member of the Marquette basketball team. Boy, that's a long time ago, my friend. Seems like only yesterday, right? Now Simmons lives right here in Fresno. He recently signed a contract with the city of Fresno, Fresno Parks and Rec, to help mentor 30 kids on the west side of town at Frank H. Ball Community Center. It all begins on Friday, May the 1st. That's this coming weekend, and it will last through the entire year. This, my friends, is right up his alley because he's already offering his expertise to the young kids involved in the Flight Club Basketball Academy, founded a couple of years back by Ryan Chavez. He'll be teaching the fundamentals of basketball. I think most of you know what those are, like dribbling, passing, shooting, hello, and let's not forget about defense because we all know that is what wins championships, right? Live in our studio, Blanton Simmons, the man who he played for Al McGuire many years ago, and he's back here again to try to mentor some of the young people, the youths of Fresno, the streets of Fresno out on the west side there. He is going to try to mentor them. But here's the good thing. The good thing is if you want to be mentored by this man, your grades have to be up. You can't have D's and F's or maybe even a C minus. He wants those grades up, then you can participate and learn from one of the best pull-up jump shooters the game has ever seen. 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back with our program here in just a moment.
A top-secret location. It's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly.
And smart.
The old finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, remember that the second half of the program gets, we stay exciting from start to finish here on the program. So we're going to start with a bang and end with a bang. Kerri Donis is coming on the second half of the program to give us an insight on the Fresno Fire Department, what's going on there. In the meantime, Blanton Simmons is back here to talk about your program, which starts on Friday. So what is this program? What's the contract between you and the city? What's going on, Blanton?
John, I'm really excited about this. Fresno Parks and Recreation has agreed with Flight Club Basketball Academy to initiate a program at Frank H. Ball Community Center where we mentor 30 young students from that particular community center area beginning May 1st through the end of the year. The program is innovative in that everyone who applies for the program needs to submit their current report card. We need a minimum of a 2.0 grade point average, but the exciting part is that we're having each student sign a contract that they are going to aspire to get a 3.0 minimum in the fall semester. Mm-hmm. What we're doing to help them is we're playing basketball on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at Frank H. Ball from 6 to 8 p.m.
Where's that located, by the way?
It's located on the corner of Inyo and Mayer, relatively close to Computech and Edison High School. Mm-hmm. And what the price of admission is the report card, but also, as I was saying, a contract wherein each student athlete will sign to say that they aspire to get a 3.0 in the fall. And what we're going to do for the first 2 months of the program, May and June, we're going to have them evaluated academically by your Gubian Academic Center. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that 2-month period, at the end of June, we'll know basically where most of the kids stand, where their proficiencies are, where they're deficient in their educational pursuit right now, and then the remainder of the summer to continue to participate with us in basketball on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They have to go to 5-on-1 tutoring on Tuesday and Thursday to shore up the deficiencies in their academic resume.
Well, this is a great opportunity for kids to get involved and help get their grades up at the same time, because so the tutoring part, does it come in? Do you guys offer that for free?
Yes, it's all being sponsored. We are reaching out to the community to find sponsors for various components of the program. We have some sponsors in place right now. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, your Gubian Academic Centers, they've been in the tutoring business for, I think, 17 years.
And they're offering that service free of charge, huh?
We're offering it through sponsors that we're finding to support our efforts and your Gubian's efforts.
Yeah, that's tremendous because, we all know that it costs money to educate people, including if you have a tutor. And so why is it limited to only 30 kids? Out of curiosity.
That was the deal we made with the city because we felt that was a manageable number. We're taking 30 kids who will be 7th, 8th, or 9th graders in the fall. So they currently are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, but in the fall they'll be 7th, 8th, 9th graders. And we're trying to balance it out at about 10 young athletes from each group, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
The biggest problem that you see with young people today is what?
Well, I just think that youngsters need to be shown that there is opportunity and shown how to go about embracing that opportunity and to prepare themselves to be able to take advantage of it. I don't think kids are any different than when I was growing up. It's just that the information needs to be given to them so they can understand what the possibilities are, and that's what we're looking to do, inspire youngsters by using sports as an incentive to be involved in this program, which is going to help them with their academics as well.
But Blanton, wasn't life simpler when you and I were kids? Aren't kids under more pressure today? And I'm talking about peer pressure mainly. Add to it, you've got the drug and game problems. Add to that, you have kids that are hooked on, not hooked on phonics, but they're hooked on electronics so much. So isn't it a different ball game, so to speak, today?
It really is. I found that as I was raising my sons, who were both stellar athletes, that I would get frustrated with the electronic playing video games, because playing virtually as opposed to being outside and playing and running. and developing one's lungs and physical capabilities, there's a lot more merit to that, and I always try and encourage kids to be active and to play literally as opposed to virtually.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that kids have a difficult time challenging themselves and taking themselves to the limit, to the brink? I know you did as an athlete. You have to.
Well, I think that a lot of that is due to the mentors that I had, and I'm trying to replicate that same situation for the kids in the Fresno area, to give them something to aspire to and an opportunity to really develop themselves as well as possible and make the most out of their lives.
But do you find that a lot of kids, and we do have a call, hang on caller, are just not challenging themselves enough where they take themselves to the very edge and see how far they can go?
I think that's true of most people. Most people need mentoring or coaches in order to push them to the brink and to make them understand what the possibilities are for their success. And that's something that I relish the challenge of doing that in the Fresno area and really making a difference in the lives of a number of these youngsters.
Yeah. Caller, go ahead. You're there. You're on the air.
Yeah. I think you're talking about a mentor program for young kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, I am talking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're on the air. Go ahead. We hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You need to, sir, can you turn down your TV set, okay? Did he hang up?
Yeah, you was wanting to rule out kids that got D's and F's. Well, those are the kids that really need mentoring. The ones that's getting high grades, they're already on the right track. And I don't think that's fair to rule them out.
Sir, you have a great point, and we aren't setting the standard extremely high, but we want the youngsters to aspire to be part of this program to get a C average, which is the minimum that's accepted to participate in sports in school. And then we intend to inspire them to achieve at a greater level than that. And again, we will accept individuals on a probationary basis, but they need to know that there are expectations and what we intend to help them achieve.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you go to any high school and you want to try out for the football team, baseball team, maybe a tennis team, wrestling, whatever the case may be, and you have to hold and carry a certain grade point average, do you not? I believe it's a 2.0.
It's a 2.0, and trust me, that's a minimum standard, and the reason that it's a minimum standard is that a 2.0 will not get you into any college that I'm aware of except a junior college. So you really need to aspire to do better in school in order to facilitate your life.
Yeah, I don't care how good an athlete you are, you won't aspire to that scholarship status unless you do have a higher than a 2.0. Blanton Simmons is here. We're going to talk to him more about this mentoring program that's going to start this coming Friday, and it will take place in at what's it called here? The Frank H. Ball Community Center in West Fresno. 436 MeTV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Francisco Molina Nieve has been on the run since March 2008. The police and the FBI need your help tracking this coward down. He's wanted for brutally beating his girlfriend and for the use of a firearm. He has 3 freckles and a crescent shape under his right eye. Call the Colorado FBI at 303-629-7171 if you know where he's hiding.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come into Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Back here on the program with Blanton Simmons, of course, he is starting this mentoring program, and the question is, what do you do about kids who don't have that grade point average? How do you mentor those kids, and do you just let them fall through the cracks, or what should we do about it?
No, our plan is to assess each individual and find out where they are academically right now and in what areas we can help them. And that's why we've enlisted the support of Yergubian academic centers to take that challenge of finding out where the help is needed and then supplying that support over the course of the summer to allow each youngster to excel in school.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're on the air. I hope you have your TV set turned down so you can hear us. Go ahead.
I sure do. The question I have is, well, first, thank you for being a mentor to our kids. That's a really good calling. My observation is that kids nowadays, in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, don't have the ability to go out and make any money other than maybe illicitly. For example, it used to be where you could go out and, sweep the floor of a store or, empty some trash cans for a business. Now you're not allowed to do that because of laws. Does that sort of prevent people from getting into the system? And I'll take my answer up here.
Okay, thank you.
That's really a good point. One of the things that causes a lot of the strain and the lack of opportunity is the lack of jobs and the ability for young kids to get a work ethic early on. And we're planning to address that as well. We have a component called Flight Club Energy, and we're going to allow, and that's something I'm going to feel more free to talk about on my next visit that we've kind of talked about. But we will mentor the kids in the area of jobs and learning how to be self-sufficient and provide for themselves. That's an important part of what the educational process and the mentoring that we're doing.
You think there's a lack of work ethic in the community today by the young people?
I think that's to be determined. When we provide opportunity, we'll see how much it's embraced. I'd like to think that there's good a work ethic, that the work ethic is there, but the opportunity probably hasn't been as forthcoming as perhaps it will be in the future, and this is what we're working on.
All right. I'll take this call first. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. To you guys, let me ask a simple question. I think we as coaches and mentors put the dynamics or the standards of an individual lower than they should. I mean, a 2.0, that's just like an average, an average kid. But a lot of the kids at a young age are beyond that, And if you're going to put it at a 2.0, they're not going to use the ability they have. Besides the sports, because sports is just going to be sports. Not all of them are going to make it to the big time. But if you put it at 3.0 and you want to help these kids, go to the parents. And you should round them up like we did years ago. Get them in parent meeting and talk to them and tell them the way that we get these kids involved in school is to go and put in their heads that they should do their homework and get a higher grade than what they should be doing. Because a lot of schools they say, well, a 2.0 will get you through. Mm-hmm. It's not going to get you through. No. If you put a standard at 3.0, you're going to get more students involved, I think, because when a lot of athletes go into high school thinking that they're going to make it, they're not going to.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, that's a good point, caller, but you have two ends of the spectrum now. We've had one caller that say, hey, man, you're ignoring the kids down at the bottom. Now you have this caller saying, well, look, you got to set the bar a little higher, 3.0, so...
I tend to agree with this caller who's on the line now. That's the reason that we're allowing youngsters to come into the program at a 2.0 on a probationary basis, but we're insisting that they sign a contract that they're aspiring to a 3.0 because that's what's going to get you somewhere in life. And 3.0 and higher, we really need that. And the higher you set the bar, the greater the kids will strive to achieve it.
That's right. That's right. And it's great you've got some help for the kids that are struggling too. 436 MeTV option 11. And we're going to continue with Blanton Simmons and his mentoring program that starts on Friday here in West Fresno. Back in a moment. Back here on the program, 436 MeTV option 11. Caller, are you there?
Yes. I'm just curious, what are the requirements for the program?
Well, the requirements, first of all, are that the student will be in the 7th, 8th, or 9th grade in the fall semester 2015.
What's that? Go ahead again, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sit up, please.
All right, go ahead.
That each student be in the 7th, 8th, or 9th grade in the fall this year, 2015, that they bring their report card. We'd like a minimum of a 2.0 to enroll in the program. On a case-by-case basis, if the student commits to working to bring their grade point average up to a 3.0 next semester, we'll get them the help they need. We just want youngsters who are interested in making a better life for themselves, and we want to show them the way to do that.
I want to put some pictures up on the screen. We have 3 or 4 of them here, and you can go ahead and look at them, Blanton, and explain what we're looking at here. Maybe part of your mentoring program and the Flight Club basketball program here. What photo is this?
That picture is from Fresno High's Central Valley Championship last year in 2014 in March. The player on the right is Javion Jones. The player on the left is the player on our left, as you look at the screen, is Javion Jones. The player on the right is Daryl Edwards. They were the key members of the Fresno High basketball team that won the Central Valley Championship. Javion was one of the first students who I mentored in Fresno, and I'm very proud of him. He's in junior college right now in San Diego and will be doing a second year of junior college in the fall, and changed his life significantly through basketball and academics.
Was he in a rough spot before?
He was in a really difficult family situation, and again, he used basketball to pull himself up and is making steady progress toward a better life right now.
Such a great photo. I mean, you can just see the emotion on from both players there. Very dramatic.
That's right after the basket that won the Central Valley Championship for Fresno High. First time they won the championship in 34 years. The previous time was 1980, and they won last year in 2014.
Yeah, and kudos to the photographer to be able to capture that moment in a split second like that is really great. Go to the next photo here, and what are we looking at? We know that's you on the right.
And that is Javion. That's 3 months after I began mentoring him. The posture, the confidence, and just his entire demeanor had changed, and it was really a proud moment. We took that picture in December of 2013.
Okay, that was before the championship game there.
Right, that was when we were practicing and getting ready for the championship that he was going to achieve in a few months from then.
Yeah, see, when you strive towards something and give your all and take it to the edge, you never know what could happen. Never know. Little did he know when this photo was taken what was going to happen just a few months down the road.
Exactly right.
You know, so next photo, please.
That's the picture when I first met Javion. I think you can see the difference. He's not nearly as confident or as strong looking as he is in the picture that we just saw. This is the day we met. And a troubled kid who needed some direction, and we provided it for him, and we're very happy with the outcome.
Yeah. Next photo? That's it? Okay. And so, you know, they say pictures tell a lot more than words. You don't even need a caption on some of those photos to see the confidence. Let's put up that first photo again, that championship game where both players are celebrating. I mean, look at the confidence right there as opposed to that last photo that we saw.
Which was the first time I met him, and he was a kid who needed a lot of help, and we provided it for him.
Yeah. How did you do that? Where did you start? I mean, you started at ground zero, which was where?
First, listening to him and understanding what his story and his background was, and then determining the areas that I felt I could help him. But again, the incentive was the basketball that he was aware that I could do because he had seen the video and seen the pictures and so forth. And so we had a connection from that point. And I made it very clear to him from day one that in order to get my help, we had to have a partnership, which meant that he needed to do his job in school. And from there, we would work everything else out together.
How do you convince a young guy like him, who was troubled in the beginning, that basketball would take care of a lot of your problems?
Well, he knew he could play, and I think it just meant a lot to him when I recognized that he could play and told him so, and told him what his options and possibilities would be if he only did his schoolwork, how far basketball could take him. And it seemed that the light went on, and we developed a friendship and a mentor-student relationship from that point. And it's been a beautiful story, and it's not over. I'm still helping him write his story.
Okay, before we go, I got to show a couple of videos here. Golden State Warriors, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, and they swept New Orleans in their first series 4-0. And I'll tell you what, that Game 3 was the key game in New Orleans. The Warriors were down by like 20 points in the fourth quarter with like 7 or 8 minutes to go. Steph Curry tied the game. Let's roll the videotape on that three-pointer. I want to show that one first because this was amazing. He puts it up right here and he misses. The rebound comes out and then he gets it back, puts it up, and ties the game to send it into overtime. Steph Curry, in your opinion, the best player, the most valuable player, the MVP in the league this year?
Absolutely. He's a great player. He puts on a great show every night. He's fun to watch, but he's also a great teammate. We concentrate a lot on his shooting, but his passing shouldn't be overlooked. He's a great passer, a great ball handler, and would be a lot of fun to play with because he plays with pace and he plays with a lot of confidence.
And of course he was fouled on that last shot, and we're going to let this play and watch the replay here. Just an amazing confidence from Steph Curry. There's the rebound coming out. So he's on the line and boom, he gets hammered right there, but it goes in. I mean, he's got a quick release like you had.
He has a really quick release, and when you've done it that much, in my case, it was 10,000 hours of practice, so it's not something I spent a lot of time thinking about. You let it go, and you let it go with confidence, and you really never aim. You don't need to aim. You
really?
Know, I never aim a shot. I'm very critical when I see shooters who aim the ball because they aren't very confident in what they do.
Well, if you don't aim, what do you do? How do you
look at the rim and you release the ball with the same release, and I just happen to have I can calibrate in my arm how far 15 feet is, how far 20 feet, whatever the distance is, and I never take my eye off the rim. It's the first thing I teach when I teach kids how to shoot. Do not follow the ball with your eyes. Just look at the target and keep your eyes on the target the entire time.
I want to roll the other videotape of Curry before we go here, because does he do that? Does he do what you preach and what you did in your career?
Watch his head. Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, they don't lift their heads when they shoot. Their head should stay level, and they just watch the rim. They don't follow the flight of the ball. If you do that, you're making a mistake. The only time you actually would do that is when you're under the basket, because in order to see the basket, you obviously have to look up.
Do you look at the front of the rim?
I try to put the ball over the front rim. I just am trying to put the ball barely over the front rim.
Where's the bullseye is what you're looking at? Are you looking at the front of the rim or the back of the rim? Or?
I'm looking at the front, trying to put it just over the lip of the front rim.
Okay. But without thinking, it's muscle memory, right?
It's muscle memory, absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you know what? If he doesn't win the MVP, it means it'll be East Coast bias all the way. Really, because the media votes on the MVP.
I think he's going to win it this year. He deserves it, and I believe he will win it.
Yeah. Okay, I want to promote your program coming up again. Starts May 1st, Frank H. Ball Community Center. What time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. First 30 kids got to have a 2.0. They do have a mentoring program, so if you come in at 1.9, you're going to get some help.
We're going to get help. We're going to make sure we enroll the kids who really want to be a part of it, as long as they're willing to commit to striving for academic excellence.
And a quick phone number that somebody can call?
They can call 559-392-7439, or you can go to my email and register at blantonsimmons@gmail.com.
All right. Always good to see you, my friend.
My pleasure, John.
Will you help me with that jump shot once in a while?
Well, we're a little old for that.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't even shoot myself anymore.
I can still play a little bit.
Well,
I mean, even at my age.
I only pass the ball now.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about that later, all right?
All right.
All right. We're going to be back with our next guest here on Connect With Me. Our thanks to Blanton Simmons. Remember, this coming Friday at the Frank H. Ball Community Center, 5 o'clock, first 30 kids. It's the mentoring program. Back in just a moment.
Euronews, most watched news channel in Europe.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip-up and slide-under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there! Officer Poncherello, man.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Watch Dr. TV on over-the-air channel 13.9.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Julio Cesar Guevara Mejia is wanted by the FBI in Sacramento for the attempted murder of a 19-year-old female in November of 2007. Police say he lured the young woman to a hotel room where he shot her 3 times in the chest. He could be in Palm Springs, California or Houston, Texas. Contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have any information.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want. Save now on Frigidaire's Advanced Affinity Laundry Pair. Let Frigidaire save you energy, water, and time. Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
We need help to find this missing child. Patrick Alford was 8 when he went missing. He was last seen in Brooklyn, New York in January of 2010. This is what we believe he looks like today at age 12. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Please help bring Patrick Alford home.
Back here with the second half of our program here on Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno on this Wednesday morning. Our thanks to Blanton Simmons again, and get out there to that mentoring program if you possibly can. Time to change pace now here on a Wednesday morning. We're going to talk about the Fresno Fire Department, but first let's roll the videotape and show you that dramatic video that we've shown you here many times on this program over the course of the last month or so. Talking about Fire Captain Pete Dern, who was injured during this house fire. You've seen this. This went nationwide. I mean, this guy had to get Fireman of the Year for climbing up there on the garage roof during a fire that was set deliberately, too, by a young woman who has now been charged in this case. Pete Dern remains in the hospital. The fire captain climbed onto the top of the roof of the garage. It collapsed. It sent him tumbling down into the inferno. Dern suffered second and third degree burns, 65% of his body. Look at that. I just can't get over looking at that video. And today he remains in the hospital, as I said. He's a 25-year veteran of the department. He suffered smoke inhalation. He was on a ventilator at one time, not anymore. He's already gone through a few surgeries. He's going to get more. We're going to talk to the fire chief about that in a moment. But life-threatening injuries. Look at the inferno here that the firefighters were trying to battle on that weekend. And this is a classic example of firefighters putting their lives on the line each and every day for you, the citizen. And we wish, Mr. Dern, a 25-year veteran, we wish him well and a speedy recovery, and also good wishes to his family. Live in our studio right now is Kerri Donis. She is the fire chief here in the city of Fresno, and I'm glad she's here in the studio. Welcome to Connect with Me, first time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So how is Pete Dern doing? Give us an update.
Pete is doing amazingly well. He has such a great spirit. He's that a fighter spirit, mentally tough young man, and we're just blessed that he has that mental toughness, and he's determined to get out of the hospital, and we couldn't ask for a better person to be working through this.
When did you see him last?
I saw him last Monday. Went in to see him yesterday, but he was a little tired from a lot of people seeing him, and he has a dressing change today, so I won't see him today, but I'll go in tomorrow to see him before he has a major surgery on Friday where they're going to start grafting his own skin that has been cultivated in Boston, as a matter of fact. They did a biopsy of his skin, sent it to Boston, and they're growing his own skin because that's what your body will only accept in a skin graft. So that'll start on Friday.
Yeah. Now, how many surgeries a week did you say he was going to have?
He has 1 to 2 surgeries a week, and we'll have those probably for 2 to 4 months going forward.
Wow. And so what's the speculation now of how long he's going to be in the hospital?
Gosh, I would say at least another 4 to plus months. I'm not really sure, but it's a long recovery process, for burns of this significance.
And I'm sure the first thing you said to him when you saw him for the first time, what were you thinking, right? Did you tell him that?
Honestly, that is not what I said.
You know what? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I mean, this guy is a true blue hero. He really is. To put your life on the line and go into a battling a blaze like that, I just can't imagine.
That's his truck crew they do that every day. We fight 1 to 2 working structure fires a day in this city. It's a very busy fire department, not just call volume, but fire call volume. And that truck crew is excellent at what they do. They get on the roof, they ventilate, and then they get off. That's their MO, and they're really good at it. This was just another one of those calls, and we're doing our own investigation and bringing in some folks to say, what can we learn from this?
Well, you know what, I want to play. I know we've seen the video 1,000, maybe 1,000,001 times, especially here on this program, and we saw it nationwide. Let's roll it one more time, because I want you to take us through it. I'm a layman. Our viewers are too. We're not firefighters. So take us through what we're looking at here, and okay.
So
can I ask you a dumb question?
Okay.
Why, okay, because I'm not a fire person, and I don't know the answer to this, and I legitimately would like to know. Okay, if a building is burning like this, and it's in an inferno, why do you climb on the roof to try to battle the blaze?
Well,
Please forgive me if that's a dumb question.
No, not at all. Ventilating a roof, creating a ventilation hole, as you saw there, that fire and smoke escaped immediately through obviously the large hole that was created by him falling, but obviously that's not the tactic. But when you ventilate a roof from the top, you're creating a large hole to allow heat and gases to escape, and allow firefighters to find the seat of the fire that are inside the building much quicker, and it also cools that room off much quicker for them. It's an excellent tactic.
So he was trying to achieve, what he was trying to achieve was to create a ventilating system, right, for that fire to go up.
Yes. There's other ways to ventilate. You can do it on the roof. You can do it through windows, doors, positive pressure with a fan in a door. And so this isn't the only way, but it is a very effective way. And, you know, Pete probably saw something different than what we saw on that video there. And so those are the lessons learned, and we're talking to all the folks that were involved at that incident, and we'll talk to Pete, you know, when it's appropriate to just kind of gather the facts and say, what do we learn from this, and what can we do differently going forward, and go from there.
Gosh, yeah, I just, you know, you guys do it day in and day out, and it's routine to you people, you know, the firefighters, but to us, it's like, you know, wow, you're doing that?
Yeah.
Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, let me ask a question where you're directly to her.
Yeah.
Is why can't they find a way or suits that can take all that punishment as far as fire and equipment that they use to cover themselves? Because, man, I'll tell you, I would never be a fireman. I mean, it's a demanding job, and it takes a certain person to do that, you know, female or man. But I think they ought to look into equipment that they can withstand a lot of that fire. It won't it won't go through them or their skin, whatever. Because I mean, they're just open. I mean, you know what I'm saying is, I just don't see that the equipment they have can, you know, withstand all that heat that they take, especially what happened to him. I mean, you know, falling in, and then the flames came up. So there's no way he's going to avoid the flames, you know. But they should find something or look into the equipment as far as the jackets, the pants, and the boots where the fire cannot, you know, go into, you know. So.
Well, you know that it's a good point, but you need to know that firefighting equipment is really, really well made. It's not fire resistive, but it is. It has a lot of layers of protection. It has a layer of protection for thermal protection, so steam and thermal heat, but also from flame impingement. Now, obviously, a fire of this magnitude and for that long, that's not what they were intended for, but I'll tell you, his equipment really did hold up very well, but it wasn't intended to had that much intensity and flame impingement for that long. But his mask stayed intact. His air bottle was connected and did really well. So that part did save his life.
Yeah.
If those things didn't stay intact, we wouldn't be having this same conversation.
Yeah, and you fully don't expect that roof to cave in like that either in most cases. I mean, that was just a rare thing. But we're going to continue our conversation with Kerri Donis. She is the Fresno Fire Chief here to talk about not only Pete Dern, but several other things here. Got a few minutes remaining, about 20 minutes here left in the program. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in a moment.
You can find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
You know, I'm kind of chuckling to myself here because when you're a kid, I mean, one of the first things you want to do is be a fireman, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as it sounds or it looks. Am I right?
No, firefighting is a very intense profession. You have to be mentally and physically tough.
Yeah.
It's very demanding. When you work really, really hard, very intensely. So you have to be able to, I mean, it's 40 pounds at least of equipment and gear. So you have to be really prepared to do that. And it's intermittent sleep patterns. You're going to get up, wake up off and on 24 hours a day.
Man. All right. Caller, go ahead. You're on with Kerri Donis.
Hi. Good morning, John, and good morning, Chief. Just
first of all, I want to say, my hats off to you and all of the fire department and that put their lives on the line for us. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And my prayers out to the firefighter who's going to be going through all these surgeries. Question is, when you have an incident like this, and I'm sure this is not the first time where there's been a firefighter that's been injured in the line of duty, how does that affect the fire department as a whole? I mean, I know if you have a business and you have an injury on job, your premiums go up and so forth. But how does that affect the fire department and from a I guess administrative side and then also morale side? I'll take my answer with it.
Yeah, how are the troops holding up, in other words?
This was such a significant incident for us. It, as I described to some folks, it just rocked us on our heels, all of us. Pete Dern was a really well-respected and still is captain of this department with tactics and strategies. So it really affected us. And so you have to really bring everyone together and make sure that they understand that we're in this together. Administration, the members, the city leadership are all very supportive of getting us through this. We have taken a proactive approach of bringing in outside experts, both at the captain level, peer level, and administrative level, to do an outside investigation and tell us, what is your review of this? What are the lessons learned you can share with us that we can then have that courageous conversation with our members going forward on possibly changing policy or just some actions. But we also are starting that conversation internally now. And it's the membership are now, the members are saying, we want to talk about this because fires continue to happen in this city. We just had another fire yesterday, a 2-alarm fire, and the same truck crew, Pete's truck crew, was on the roof ventilating again. I mean, so those, like I said, it is a routine. What you guys do. Right. Yeah. And so fires aren't going to wait for us to get done with our investigation. So we want to bring everyone together, and so myself and the Deputy Chief of Operations will be leading those meetings and just bringing every member of the department, not just captains, together to say, here's what we want to do going forward, just as precautionary. Just take a little bit more time. Let's all make sure we button up and make a good assessment. But what do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about it openly. And if you see something you want to move forward with now, we can talk about that.
There's a person that's been charged in this case because it's an arson case. This fire was set deliberately by. Refresh my memory.
Julia Harper.
Yeah, Julia Harper, and she's being charged as an arsonist now, right?
Correct. The district attorney charged her with 2 counts, 2 separate counts of willfully setting a fire with great bodily injury, and then the next level of significant arson charge. So we'll see what happens going forward. Our investigation team did a fantastic job of gathering the information. They really were cautious about ruling out all other options. And then they had an interrogation with her, and after 3 hours, she told them exactly what she did. So
well, it's one heck of a way to gain national attention for your department. That's not the way you want to do it, but he did garner a lot of national attention on all the networks. And so we wish him, and when you see him, tell him that all of us here wish him a speedy recovery.
Will do.
And give best wishes to his family as well.
We will.
I mean, just an amazing story. I want to roll some videotape of that explosion that took place out by Herndon in '99. I believe that was on April the 17th. It closed down portions of Herndon Avenue. It closed down portions of 99. Now, from what I understand, as of today, I think there are 3 people involved in a lawsuit. I believe the attorney is Butch Wagner. I guess this was a gas main explosion. The pipeline, the gas pipeline owned by PG&E. There was a county worker out there digging. There's a dispute as to what happened out there. Did the guy actually, dig into the pipeline and cause the explosion? Sheriff's Department says no. PG&E says kind of yes. Does anybody really know what happened at this point?
At this point, it's still under investigation. I'm not.
Who's investigating, by the way?
I believe the PG&E has their investigation. I believe the county has one, and our fire department was out there as well. We provide the. That's a North Central Fire Protection District area. We provide the service to North Central. That's why all of our units were out there. And so we'll see what happens throughout the investigation. It looks like they had flagged that pipeline and were aware that it was there. But we'll see.
Well, whether or not he tapped it, who knows at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know until those investigations are done. So it sounds like, what, about 3-4 different agencies are investigating, right?
Correct.
Including your fire department, or?
Yeah, we had an initial investigation out there too.
Yeah. What did you find? Anything yet, or anything that you can reveal?
Nothing yet to report.
Right. And this thing, there were 13 people injured, Kerri, but it could have been a lot worse. Look at that inferno there. That's what, about 150 feet in the air, huh?
Well, that pipeline was, moving a lot of product, and it's very intense. So breaking something open that large would result in that type of intensity of a fire. So we're just very, very fortunate it was not in a residential area or with more people exposed.
Well, and so from your knowledge, I know you're not a PG&E worker, but what are the chances of something like that happening in, say, a commercial or residential area, like what happened in San Bruno?
Well,
it could happen any time, right?
I'm pretty sure PG&E has done a lot of work since San Bruno to identify their pipelines and bring forward any concerns in those areas. So, let's just take the blessing of it wasn't there and let PG&E work on their end.
Yeah, we'll see what the investigation, what the end result of that is going to be. In the meantime, you have all these lawsuits being filed left and right, so we'll see the outcome of that too. Hey, Kerri Donis is our guest today. She is the Fresno Fire Chief. It's her first appearance on Connect With Me, 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
We're glad Kerri Donis is here. She is the fire chief, and as let me ask you, as fire chief, do you attend more meetings than you actually battle fires?
There's a lot of meetings. To make progress and to move this organization forward and in its rebuilding, that requires a lot of meeting and a lot of meeting other people and getting the message out. And so I will willingly do that.
Yeah. Let me ask you a little bit. I don't want to put you too much on the spot here, but when I first came to Fresno, and this was a long time ago, it was back in '97. Gosh. So I was working at KMPH, and I did a whole expose on the fire department on how they were getting the short end of the stick from the city because they lacked equipment, they lacked the people. Fire hoses weren't up to date, fire engines, ladder trucks, and this and that. The current mayor at the time saw that report, and if murder was legal, he probably would have hung me. But it exposed a problem that eventually got fixed. Where do you stand on personnel now, equipment? I know the budget hearings are coming up here pretty quick. The budget is coming up when? July 1st, or?
No, June. In June, the budget hearings will start.
What do you want, what are you asking for improvements for your fire department that's so essential to this city?
Sure. I would say, listen, the economic downturn affected all of us, including the fire department. But I have been really, really pleased. This administration has reinvested in this department and is in the process of rebuilding it, and they understand the importance of public safety to this community and making sure we have a robust public safety system in both police and fire. Last year they put an engine company back in service, so we had our first 2-company house in 5 years. They've invested in rebuilding our apparatus and fleet replacement, so that, and we ordered 3 engines and 2 trucks and a water tender. This year I asked for another truck company to have a second 2-company house. So we have a truck company in the northwest part of town, and that'll have a further reach, and also it'll be the second truck due to the downtown area. That will add 3 minimum daily staffing to our community. That would put us from 70 and bring us up to 73 firefighters on duty each day. And that's progress. This isn't going to happen overnight. This is a marathon, not a sprint, but they are making progress in this organization, and I'm really pleased about that. And I'm hoping we get that in the budget this year. We'll find out by next week.
Yeah. Caller, you're there. Go ahead. Caller?
Good morning, Chief. I just want to tell you congratulations. As a woman who took the test in '84 for the fire department when they first opened up to women, thank you for being selected as a chief. I want you to know that I know how intelligent firefighters are and how challenging the test was. My cousin attended law school in conjunction with working for Fresno Fire Department, graduated from UCLA, magna cum laude, as now a district attorney. My prayers go out to Captain Dern and his family, and I just thank you for everything that you and the Fresno Fire Department do for retired and for current employees. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. You know, this is a labor of love, too. This is where I, started my career, and I love this department, and the members are very passionate. They are extremely hardworking for this community. Like I said, they are a very busy fire department, and I want to do everything I can to help bring this organization back and to the fullest capacity it can in my tenure.
I know that some fire stations closed in the past. Are we in the process of trying to reopen those, or?
Well, there is no fire station in the city of Fresno that closed.
I think in the past few years, though. Really?
No, we did not close stations. We took companies out of service. We closed apparatus.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Big difference, yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, we went from a minimum daily staffing of 84 on duty to 66. And so today we're at 70, so we're rebuilding, and I couldn't be,
How many firefighters on board right now, the number?
There are 285 sworn safety.
Okay.
But on duty each day you have 70.
Okay.
70 people on duty each day to respond to the medical calls, the fire emergencies, the rollover accidents, whatever they may be.
Yeah. And so at this point, hey, I do want to mention before we go, we're looking at some video here from your fire department, our fire department here in the city of Fresno. And are you, in the very short amount of time we have, how do we compare to other cities and their of similar size with their fire departments?
We have a much smaller minimum daily staffing than most cities, metro cities our size. That's just a fact.
Yeah. But it's going to take time, like
it's
you said.
It's going to take time, and we will keep applying for federal grants that when they become available. We are bringing on our first group of 13 firefighters this coming Monday. We haven't had a drill school in over 7 years.
Wow.
So we're pretty excited about that, and that's kind of the platform going forward. I'm hoping to do that at least once a year.
I got 30 seconds left. I would be amiss if I wouldn't say you were an all-star softball player at Fresno State as well, right? And so how does it feel to be the fire chief in the town that you really starred in?
Well, go Bulldogs. Go Fresno State. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be, I was asked to be the fire chief, and it's an honor to serve.
Well, it's an honor for us to have you here. Congratulations on the position as well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for being here, and come back again.
Sure.
You're more than welcome here anytime.
Okay.
Anyway, Kerri Donis, our fire chief here in the city of Fresno. We're glad that she was here today to talk about the Fresno Fire Department, Fresno's finest, along with the police department. We're back tomorrow with another edition of Connect with Me. Tomorrow, we're going to have an expert in the house from Fresno State talking about elder abuse. Very important topic. Remember Mickey Rooney? See you tomorrow. Have a great day.